Hi there, I'm Gary. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm looking at the new MH6J Little Bird helicopter in 1/48 scale from ICM. If you enjoy the video, don't keep it to yourself. Let YouTube know by giving it the old imperial thumbs up on the like button. Make sure you've subscribed and hit the notification bell. All of these are free and really help the channel analytics. So let's start by looking at the box this kit comes in. So here's the box of the MH6J Little Bird in 1/48 scale from ICM. Product code here is 48369. It's doing pretty much what you expect a Special Forces helicopter to be doing, sort of whizzing along down by the coast, keeping low and looking pretty darned cool. I think it's a nice piece of box artwork, this. So on this side here, we just have a bit of information about the kit. Where it comes from, of course, is ICM in Ukraine. It's the first helicopter model in the Little Bird line. It says so. There's going to be plenty more of them. Multiple antenna configurations, superb. Decals feature markings to the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment, or SAW, 160th SAW. Length 182 millimeters. Height 63 millimeters. It says here diameter of main rotor 16 mil. I reckon that means 160 millimeters myself. And there are 147 parts. On the other long side, 160th SAW, airborne, early 1990s, and in the later 1990s. There's a little bit of difference. There's the different serial numbers for a start. But there's not so much difference between the markings because, of course, these are Special Forces helicopters, so they don't have a lot of fancy gaudy markings on them. So that's what the box looks like. Let's see what you get inside for your money. So as is usual for ICM, the glossy cover here is a slip-on lid, basically, and they are quite tight, quite snug. And oh, there we go. Oh, quickly, there we go. They are quite snug, which is a good thing. Inside we have this double layer corrugated box. One of the good things about ICM is the boxes they come in are so incredibly sturdy. And then inside we have the parts. So we have the plastic parts. Appears to be like 2 frames of plastic maybe, and a frame of transparent parts, but we'll have a look at those in a bit. There's the instruction leaflet, and inside the instruction leaflet normally, just inside here, yes we go, is the markings, scheme markings, and then we have a little leaflet here about the ICM water-based paints, colour range on here, and more information about them in here, as well primers and stuff like that, and paint sets that they do. Okay, we'll have a look at all these bits in a bit more detail. Frame A here contains, do you know what, most of the things you're going to need for this kit. So for example, the 2 halves of the fuselage, all the cabin parts are here, the tails here, the horizontal tail and the vertical tail. The rotor blades are here, there are 5 of them, the tail itself, the hub, skids, and basically everything for the structure of the helicopter is on this frame A. Then all the teeny tiny parts are on frame B, so all the aerials and things like that, little bits and pieces of things that dangle off the side of the helicopter are all here on frame B. Then we have frame C. And these are the transparent parts, so obviously the large part of the transparency over the front, the 2 doors as well. These tiny little things are light covers. I suspect that's some sort of like spotlight cover or something like that. But that's frame C. If we look at the plastic itself, it looks lovely and sharp. The rivets are holding up nicely. They're not too aggressive in your face, 1/48 scale. They're going to need to be seen because they're going to be on basically on very dark grey, so it's not an issue if they are very slightly bigger than scale. But you know what, I don't think they are that much bigger than scale. They look pretty cool to me. pretty good. The moulding is, as usual, very crisp, very clean. It's a brand new mould, so it should be. I love the little rivet details at the bottom of the support for the skids. I think that's really cool. Yeah, all the interiors, these are going to be probably dry brushed more than decaled, so I think those will work okay. The interiors are focus. The interiors are sort of functional. They work. They're nice enough. There's the back of the. There's the floor of the helicopter there, and there's the back of the cabin. Looks okay. I guess this is where the the rotor system comes up from the gearbox. Let's see if there's anything we can see on this side of interest by flipping it over. There's the rotor hub. It looks functional rather than massively detailed, but I'm going to guess that might actually be what they look like. I don't know for sure. The interior, where you can see things, is, it's got some detail of interior strengthening ribbing and stuff like that, which is okay. Yeah, not bad at all. And the rotors themselves are nice and crisp as well. Then we're getting into some of the really small little bits and pieces of antennas and antenna supports and so on. These are very nice. That's nicely moulded. Yeah, very clean, very crisp. They look like they'll come off the frame okay. This is going to be more a slight challenge. It's a little bit wobbly, so that's going to be something you want to take off the frame really, really carefully, or replace it when it gets broken. Look at that little cogs on there, little cog teeth on there. That's not lovely. Yeah, they're all very nice. These are different front ends for the skids, I believe, by the looks of things. But you look at some of these little aerials and tubes and whatever, they are so small. If I've got it's like a ballpoint pen here. Haven't got my usual comparison, but yeah, there we go. Look at this ballpoint pen next to that. That is a tiny, tiny part. So, to be very careful not to be feeding the carpet monster with these. But it shows you the level of accuracy they go to as well, that rather than thinking, we'll just do with something that sticks on the side, actually modelling some of this stuff quite accurately. Then finally on the clear parts, again, all of the framework is really nicely riveted, and where bits are not actual clear parts, like this part here, it's got a very slight frosting on it. It's not highly polished, and you see that most on the doors here, so it's very clear which parts are the clear transparent parts and which bits are the door frame. Interestingly, there's no suggestive masks on this kit. Normally they have a template for masking, but they don't on this, probably because it's too difficult. So I'm guessing someone will come out with masks, or you're going to have to cut them yourself. These will be fun to cut out. But there we go, and I think you can see for certain that says C, not G. The decal sheet is fairly basic. There are some identifying serial numbers and all that in two tones. One's like black and one's like a very, very, very dark greyish green, like a really dark olive green. And the serials are sort of repeated various parts around the helicopter. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 aircraft represented here. Each one can be in either older or newer marking schemes as well. Other than that, there's really not much to this. There's some instrument bits up here. We'll have a look at them a bit more closely, but yeah, there's not an awful lot to it, I suspect. I'll have a bit of a closer look at the decal sheet now. You can see this is pure black print, very sharp, and you'll notice that these other colours are not as sharp, this secondary colour. It's because these are 4-colour printed. They're not done with multiple layers of silkscreen printing like say cartograph decals are. So these colours. The black ones are going to be pin sharp. These ones are always going to be ever so slightly fuzzy. However, against a black background or a very dark grey background, I don't think that's going to be an issue. The instrument panels are here in white. Again, that will print nicely. These yellow stripes, they are not very nice yellows. Yellow is the weakness on ICM Decals. Yellow is always a weakness. You might want to mask that and paint it yourself just to get the richness of the yellow that it needs. I'm assuming they're quite rich yellow. I don't know. They may be faded yellow, for all I know, on the actual helicopter. That's a bit of research worth looking into. Again, the smaller parts of the serials are okay. No fear. No fear. Again, ever so slightly fuzzy compared with the ones that are jet black, but you know, I think at this scale and this distance you're going to be viewing it from, no problem at all. I think that'll be fine. Again, as I say, especially as you're going to be putting these onto dark rubber grey airframes. The instruction booklet, as usual, has a reprise of the box art in colour on the front here. Reminder that it's 1/48 scale and the product code 48369. There's a little bit of history of the MH6J here in Ukrainian and in English, and here's some specs, technical specs, again in Ukrainian and in English. There's the colour call out here. These reference ICM's own colours. Of course, you can use different colours, different manufacturers' colours, and they're on the ICM website, and indeed there are several other places online you can find equivalents to the ICM references. There's a brief translation here of the various icons that are used. Probably the most useful thing on this front page, however, is this QR link. This takes you to an animated step-by-step video of the construction of the kit here. It's like a video version of the instructions. And where it's really useful is where, you know, the instructions, you'll see where how the instructions are done. You know, they have a particular view, but you want to maybe look just slightly backwards. These videos rotate things, move them, and just show you exactly how things slot together. Really, really good. It's done using the original CAD for the model, so it's really, really good quality. I think that's something ICM do. I haven't seen anyone else do. That's an absolute winner for me. It's a must see. Inside here we have the frame map, such as it is, A, B. This says G for golf, the part says C for Charlie, so I don't know what the confusion there is. And as you can see, the instructions are fairly straightforward. Same sort of view you see on pretty much all the instructions everywhere, really. But sometimes there's going to be parts like here. Exactly where that slots onto this part is very clear on the video, so well worth looking at. Here we're just constructing the two halves, you know, the outer aerial set on each half. Cockpit goes into it. The rotor hub assembly, the base of the hub assembly goes in, and then you close up the whole thing with the exhaust as well. Relatively straightforward. You don't have to put in things like the cyclic and collective controls until much later, which is kind of cool because this is like the instrument panels and things like that, so they can sort of slot in later on. Here it says, you know, you paint this part of the transparency, which is listed as G. I'm pretty sure it is C on the actual plastic. You paint the inside of that as well, and that's pretty much it. It is very, very, very straightforward, I will say. Incredibly straightforward looking. Whether it is, of course, is another matter, because I haven't built it. But the instructions look very straightforward. I'll say that for them. And before you know it, you're putting the rotor blades on and the whole thing's done. Paint scheme is pretty straightforward. They are saying use J, which is rubber black, so not the app's jet black, but rubber black. A lot of people use NATO black, things like that, because you can still shade that a bit. Rotors are in black, of course. The one thing I will say is it's very difficult to see. They've got like these different things, so that's the decal 4 goes there. It's really difficult unless you can. You just have to make out where these are half the time, because it's impossible to see what decal 4 is and exactly where it goes. Sometimes it's a little clearer like there, but most of the time you're going to have to guess, especially ones that are dark colours on the rubber black already. But you know what? It's not the end of the world, is it? But it could be better worked out. So essentially, weird thing again. It says 1 here, assembly variant 1, and assembly variant 2, and number 3. You know, it's all very strange, but I'm sure you can match it up. All right, this one, sorry, makes it clear. Variant 1 has these two versions, two serial numbers here, both from the early 1990s. And variant 2 has options 3 and 4 for the decals. I'm guessing that's how it works out. Anyway, that's the instruction leaflet. There it is then. Quite a cute little kit and a good subject if you're a detailed helicopter but don't have huge amounts of space to show it. The Little Bird can be reissued in a variety of guises, such as the AH6 attack version, even an unmanned version too. So there's scope for many future boxes, and this looks to be a very good start indeed. I guess there'll also be a race to get some paint masks for it as well. That's all for now. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notifications bell. Thank you so very much for watching today, and goodbye.